The race for the office of Nigerian Senate President is getting tougher by the day, as the two contenders in the race for the office of the Senate President are now splitting the APC caucus in the National Assembly. The two main contenders are Senator Bukola Saraki from Kwara State, the north central of Nigeria, while his main opponent is Senator Ahmed Lawal from Yobe State in the northeast part of the country. Other contenders are Senator George Akume, former governor of Benue State, who is returning to the Senate on the third term. Senator Ali Ndume is also in the race for the Senate President of the 8th Senate section of the National Assembly. All the contestants for the office of the Senate President are all senators elected on the platform of All Progressive Congress. As expected, All Progressive Congress will provide leadership for the National Assembly following its success in the just concluded National Assembly elections. Senator Ahmed Lawal said to be enjoying the support of some leaders of the APC, while some members of 8th Committee section of the National Assembly have endorsed the candidature of Ahmed Lawal as Senate President. Meanwhile, the stakeholders are prevailing on Senator George Akume to step down his interest in order to pave way for the emergence of Ahmed Lawal as Senate President. On his part, Senator Bukola Saraki, former governor of Kwara State, believes he has what it takes to emerge as the next Senate President of Nigeria.
I want you to leave here with the view of whether we're talking about the issue of Senate President, let us talk about who can do it, who has the capacity, who can lead us in doing it, who can make it possible to work with the government in addressing the challenges ahead, particularly now that the challenges are even tougher now, because we are coming in at a very difficult time. It's not a time now that we can take chances and just say, okay, you go and try it, or you go and, it's not going to be possible. Again, I want you to remember today, because some of these things I say, I'm so confident on these issues because these are facts. Let's take sentiments out of the issues.
According to Saraki, over 34 senators elect of All Progressive Congress have endorsed his candidature.
That ends at 34. This is not, it's the party chairman now. So if they say at 37, you say 34 to 37, 71. Let them send this 37 or show you like this and send it to the chairman. This is not, these are names. This is not fake.
Senator Ali Ndume explained that his interest in the race was as a result of the Northeast interest.
My state, particularly Borno State, is the most devastated by the insurgents. It's the most marginalized. It's one of the states that have been consistently being in the opposition. This is the first time we're having federal government with the state in the same party. So my people and we feel that the highest position in the National Assembly, having been the zone that also gave this government or the presidential election second highest vote, and a state that we have 100%. We're only competing with Kano, I think. Kano and Katsina, or that is Northwest, and it's understandable. In my state, every seat was won by APC.
The new Nigerian Senate President will emerge in a matter of days. From National Assembly Complex in Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
In its continued efforts to reform the Nigerian police force in order to ensure the safety of lives and properties and also to uphold the tenets of human rights, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Solomon Arase, has held a meeting with commissioners of police in the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT to chart a way forward. Speaking to the command commissioners in Abuja, the IGP said the dismantling of roadblocks is here to stay. He also used the medium to educate the public on the difference between roadblocks and stop search operations, which are most times misunderstood.
For the safer highways, let me quickly, distinguish between dismantling of roadblock and stop and search. we still owe it a duty to this country to occasionally stop and search vehicles. This is our preventive, mechanism for dealing with internal security disorders. So when you occasionally get information that a crime has been committed anywhere, you can lock down, the highway or the city roads and do stop and search. That is not roadblock. If we are going to go against these young men to say don't be corrupt, we must be able to put things in place to ensure that they are not corrupt. Those are the things that we are put in place to ensure that the safer highways, they don't degenerate into those corrupt practices that we are trying to remove from the system. We are also making efforts to put up a technical platform so that the vehicles are tracked. So wherever they are on our highways, we will be able to have them on a platform so that we will be sure that, we don't go back to where we are coming from.
On the forthcoming transition programs, the IGP assured Nigerians that the police force has put mechanisms in place to make sure that it is peaceful and in line with international best practices. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroga Nefife for Ben Television.
As current National Assembly winds up its activities, members of the incoming 8th section of National Assembly have been advised to put national interests of the nation building above their personal interests. A member of the outgoing 7th National Assembly, Honorable Opeyemi Bamidele, gave the advice in a chat with Ben TV in Abuja. Opeyemi said he believed the 8th section of the National Assembly will not be a business as usual.
In the 8th session of the National Assembly, to make a headway, the force must understand the milieu, and the circumstances within which they are coming to operate. It's time for us to really, walk by sight as we continue to walk by faith. Members of the 8th National Assembly must appreciate the fact that it's not going to be business as usual for us as a country. They must appreciate the fact that our oil fortunes are dwindling, and we can only hope and pray for the best in that regard. They must appreciate the fact that Nigerians are wiser politically. The lessons of March 8, 2015 election must also dawn on them, and they also must appreciate, some of the factors, that led to less than 55 people returning back to the House of Representatives out of 360 people, and same, in the Senate.
He also called on the 8th section of the National Assembly to drum support for the anti-corruption crusade of the incoming administration of Muhammadu Buhari.
For the anti-corruption crusade, of the incoming administration to have meaning, because to wage a war against corruption, the executive arm will need a National Assembly, definitely, for the war to succeed. At the level of legislative oversight alone, so much can be done in waging anti-corruption, war. The National Assembly must be ready to do its own job, must be above board, and must not be driven by what is in it, for them. Your concern should not be what is in this budget proposal, for us. Your concern should be to ensure that equitable distribution of our wealth as a nation, our commonwealth, equitable distribution of the projects, to ensure that there's geopolitical balancing.
Meanwhile, Opeyemi Bamidele has formally returned back to All Progressive Congress on the floor of the Green Chamber during the last week's sitting. In Abuja, Muyiwa Bamidele reporting.
Stiffer sanctions await clubs that fails to live up to its responsibilities of paying their players' salaries. Some clubs are reported to owe their players 4 to 7 months' salaries, while their managers are busy bribing referees and match commissioners with millions of naira. Speaking with Ben Television, the Assistant Director of Communication of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ademola Olajire, said that the NFF is coming out with regulations to address the situation.
Recently, there was a meeting of the NFF Players Status Committee, and they were very clear that henceforth clubs that default, may just be dealt with. There will be sanctions for clubs that fail to live up to, the responsibilities of paying their players. Over the past, the 4 years before this administration, the players' committee was not really functioning. But now they've had 3 meetings within the past 2-3 months, and they've come out with very clear positions. A lot of players came, brought their cases. Some clubs owing money running into millions, for even one player. So we are find a way to deal with this. Clubs that fail, because at the end of the day, a laborer deserves his wages. So if you cannot pay a player, then you don't need to sign him. So we're coming out with regulations to say that, look, you must pay when due.
Olajire also said the NFF is currently undertaking capacity building programs for Nigerian referees.
This informs why the NFF is undertaking this capacity building, programs for our referees to go to the UK to learn, and also to reorient. There is general reorientation of the referees, as we speak, from both the levels of the NFF as a federation, the NFF Referees Committee, the Nigerian Referees Association. They're doing so much to reorientate them and to motivate them, and also to let them know that if you do not perform creditably, you are bound to lose your place. The NFF president keeps saying that after all this effort to enhance capacity, to motivate referees, if you're still found wanting, then you are not only going to be blacklisted, you are in danger of being prosecuted based on the findings of the disciplinary committee.
Awesome Raffle, Ben Television, Abuja, Nigeria.